What is up, Eastern Oregon? This is Doddsy, and this is your sports show for Monday, April 19th, 2021. Man, what a weekend, too. I went and watched some LHS varsity softball on Saturday right here, some JV baseball. The softball team looked really good, man. They're legit. Baseball team looked good. I watched the EOU women's soccer team online win with penalty kicks. Wow. They're going to Alabama. EOU volleyball, they're going to Iowa, Sioux City, top 16 again. It's crazy. Pay attention later because that's who's my show is today, is EOU volleyball girls. This is all brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress. Right here in the Grande, Big Red Rocking Chair. And I hear that it's a new Big Red Rocking Chair. A little birdie told me that they were putting a new rocking chair. I actually saw it when it was not even on top of the building yet, and it looks fantastic. Go see them. Go see the Daggett family. Go check out their website. Go check out their showroom. Northwest Furniture and Mattress, right here off Elm and LeGrand. My diet update, MetTrim diet update. Today's Monday. That means we're looking at, roughly about day 20, day 19. I feel great. I feel excellent. Dr. Kopp is just molding this plan perfect for me. I've had a few little hiccups with my blood pressure and my blood sugar, but besides for that, I'm trugging right along, and the meals are great. I urge you to go check them out. I mean, what can it hurt? It's free. The consultation's free. So either give them a call, visit the website, or just go in there. It's right around the corner from the studio right here on 4th Street in LeGrand. MetTrimMD LeGrand. It's worth it. If you want to lose 5 pounds, if you want to lose 100 pounds, I urge you to give it a try. We got LHS baseball on the road at Baker tomorrow, both that and softball. So, I mean, you can always drive over to Baker and check out some baseball or softball if you're bored. It's beautiful weather. I mean, I'm peeling. I got a suntan this weekend, a sunburn. And the weather's just been phenomenal. My guests for today, and this team has quickly become one of my favorite teams at EOU, and just across the board, they're fiercely competitive. They're fun. Their energy level is through the roof, and not to mention they win. And so without further ado, my first guest today, she's first team all-conference outside hitter, Brianna Schaefer. Here it is. I told Khaki on last week that they've become my favorite team at EOU, and I think the basketball boys might be mad at me, but it's okay because it is what it is. I am here with the lovely Brianna Schaefer. Do you go by Bree or Brianna?
Bree.
So Bree Schaefer.
Yeah.
We're moving on to the round of 16, right? Is it 16 or is it 10 in volleyball?
I think it's 16. So it was the top 48 that played this last week, and then it cuts down to the 24, and from there we'll go to like a 3 seed bracket, and whoever goes into that goes into pool play.
So this was your junior season and your first year as a first team all-CC outside hitter. We pretty much swept all the awards. I mean, except for freshman of the year. And we didn't really have a freshman that really played enough to get freshman of the year, did we?
No. I mean, Maddie Moe played a bit. I think she would definitely contest for that freshman of the year award, but there were some games that she wasn't able to play in. So it kind of sucks.
How'd Khaki get you to EOU? Like, how'd you end up here?
So Amanda Miller was from my area, so I kind of knew about Eastern Oregon. So going through the recruiting process my senior year was kind of rough. I never really went out, and I didn't know where I wanted to go, so I just emailed Khaki a ton of times. It was probably 7 or 8 times, and finally on that last time she was like, yeah, I'd love to have you for a practice. So I went for the practice, and she just asked if I wanted to play, and it's all from there. It was either here or Spokane Falls, and I was like, I don't want to be too far away from home. I had some
Nice.
like bigger ones, and I was like, I don't think it's me.
Outside of school and volleyball, what's your favorite thing about Eastern Oregon?
I love the community. I work at Dutch Bros, and so I love like having people come through all the time, ask about my day, and then ask about their day. Just the community support is so huge here.
How long have you worked at Dutch Bros?
Since about August. I
Oh,
started
okay.
training in July, so it hasn't been too long, but long
I
enough.
was gonna say Johnny and I used to do the Johnny Ball Game show at Dutch Brothers every once in a while back in the
Really?
days. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's
COVID's been
always
weird.
EOU athletes working at Dutch Brothers. There's always at
Yeah.
least one or two.
Yeah, we have a couple football players, myself. We just hired another volleyball player, so Haley. A lacrosse girl, cheer and dance.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, we got
Yeah.
a big spread.
Yeah, it is. So as for this volleyball team this year, like obviously we hit most of our goals as a team, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you don't go 15-0 in the regular season or 14-0 in the regular season every year. I mean, that's
right. Yeah.
unprecedented even for a khaki team, which is
Yeah.
crazy. So moving forward, we go this next weekend. We go to where's nationals?
Sioux City, Iowa.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is how many years in a row? Do you know for this team? How many times have you been there?
I've been there all 3 years so far. I'm pretty sure it's 7 years in a row.
So it's
Yeah.
like vacation. Basically,
It
the
is,
volleyball
yeah.
team gets vacation, but normally it would be in what, December or November?
Yeah, December. It's like the first week of December, and that's all of our like dead week too. So we're all like stressing, doing our homework in the hotel rooms, and then come back and do our have our finals.
So this year, you're going to get to enjoy it a little bit much
Yeah,
better. I mean,
yeah. And on top of that, it's gonna be like 80 degrees down, I think. Better than the 20 that we
oh, for
normally go down there
sure,
for. Yeah.
for
Cappy's always like,
sure.
bring your parka. So this time it's like, I guess bring a light jacket. I don't
Yeah,
know.
bring your swimsuit. It's going to be
Yeah,
80.
yeah.
I mean,
I
gosh,
know.
you guys are going to.
It's tanning weather.
You're gonna want nationals to be every year at this time after this year
I
instead of
know.
being
I
in
know.
December.
And I kind of like it being in the spring so far. I mean, like, I wish we didn't practice as hard in the fall because, like, we didn't know what was happening. So we've been practicing so hard since we reported. But like having the time to like figure out who we are as a team has been really nice.
That was going to be my next question. What's it like? This season is just it's been so long
Yeah.
mentally. Like,
Yeah.
talk about that a little bit. I mean, it's got to be tough.
There's definitely been their ups and downs. Like a lot of us are really hard on ourselves, and we expect ourselves to do well in practices. So sometimes when you get those like rough practices, like it's normal. It's kind of hard because you're not seeing those results right away when you play a game. Um, but we're all going through it. We're all pushing through, and it's working really well. I think we only got
Yeah. Oh,
2 weeks left.
yeah. 2 weeks, and then you get a little break, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
like that poor football team. They gave the starters and the guys that were dressing a week off of weights. Quincy lives right
Yeah.
across the street from me, so I kind of pay attention to what they're doing, and they needed that week off. My
Yeah.
goodness. I mean, you guys are going to turn around and do this again in August. I mean,
Oh, I
that's
know.
crazy.
I don't know. I'm a gym rat, so I love lifting. So I'm kind of looking forward to just like focusing on lifting and see where that like those gains take me. And I don't know, maybe do some like grass volleyball. So I'm kind of excited.
Yeah,
Never gonna stop though.
I love the quote. You were talking about practice and how you guys are hard. You guys go
Mhm.
hard in practice. One of my favorite quotes is, you know, that old saying, practice makes perfect.
Yeah,
Well, I like the saying, perfect practice makes perfect.
exactly.
Even better. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can practice all you want, but if you're going through the motions, there ain't no point.
Oh, I know. That was one thing in club that my old coach like drained in us. He was like, "Why are you gonna waste my time at practice if you're just gonna like fiddle foot around? Like every minute counts of it." So he would always like warming up our arms was really a thing, but he had us like, sweating within the first 15 minutes of practice and just like drenched in sweat. I don't think any of us had a dry t-shirt by the end of practice. So it was definitely
That's
really
how it
hard.
should be. That's
Yeah,
how it
yeah,
should be.
yeah.
So the accountability part as with your teammates, I mean, I've talked to a lot of your team. I mean, a lot of the players have been on my show,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems like there's like a real high level of accountability. Just even if Khaki wasn't involved, you guys would still hold each other highly accountable.
Yeah. One saying that I always liked was like, hold your own luggage. And I think we do a really good job and like finding that line where like we know our teammates are capable of doing their jobs, so let's let them do their job. And like when they're kind of like off the track a little, you can help carry their luggage, but never like carry the full thing. And I think that's what we do a lot of is like we know each person is capable of doing what they're doing, so we don't need to like overcompensate. It's just a lot
Right.
of trust.
I love that. I love that. And then you live with Jet and what'd you say, Maddie?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So next year Maddie's going to be moving on, right?
Yes.
And
We're
so
both really sad.
we lose Maddie, we lose Kylie, and we lose Aspen. Is that it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so those are pretty big shoes to fill. I mean, two starters and a big role player and two liberos. I mean, that's crazy. Like I mean, isn't Aspen the backup libero? I mean, technically, even though she doesn't wear a different color shirt, she's that's her specialty is defense.
I definitely think Aspen and Kylie could interchange. Like they're equally as good.
Yeah, which is crazy, man, to have two liberos of that caliber on the same team. And then they're both seniors too. Jessie and whoever else is liberoing, I don't know who the other liberos are, but they're going to have big shoes to fill. And then setting too. Kylie's little sister's got what's Kylie's little sister's name again? I'm terrible with names. I haven't had her on the show before.
Alexis.
She's got big shoes to fill too.
I mean,
what did we have? 5 all-conference players out of 6 starters?
Yeah.
That's insane. That's
I definitely
crazy.
think like a lot of them could like hold up to those shoes though. And I'm excited for Jessie to like get the opportunity. Whatever role she comes in, I know she's going to do a good job doing it.
Nice. One of the things that I always say, and I told this to Khaki too, like I feel like the seniors like Maddie, Kylie, Aspen, they bring like this certain level of leadership, but I feel like the younger girls, the junior class brings the energy. Like you guys are the energy, you know, like you, Jet, Cambry, like the energy is just risen. It goes through the roof from the junior class. It really does.
Well, volleyball is definitely like a momentum carrier game, and I think the person with the most momentum is going to get it. And so bringing the energy or like faking it till you make it, even when you don't want to, is a big thing that a volleyball team needs to do. So I know Jet and I, we just go off the charts most of the time, just like doing dumb stuff too. So it's really fun.
Yeah, I love how you guys are all about business on the volleyball court, but you still know, like as a fan and as somebody who watches, and not just from being inside and talking to you guys personally, but just as a fan, you can tell that that you guys are having fun too.
Yeah. I feel like everyone has a ton of fun at practice. We all goof around. It's just, it's nice when you're playing with all your best friends because you're allowed to like goof around and then hold that accountability that we were talking about.
I've always been like I've always had this idea in my head, and it could be right, it could be wrong, but it's just what I've seen as an athlete and from paying attention to teams. Girls get along better than boys in sports.
I feel like sometimes it depends on the team. Like I feel like college-wise, like you're all there to do a job, so like you're able to be like cohesive. But definitely in high school for me, it was like some girls didn't really want to be there. They were just there because they got the letter, you know. So it was like it depends on your goal.
Maybe I just noticed that at the college level, and it's just, it seems like the smaller the team, the easier to. Obviously, I mean, if you're talking about a football team, it's hard to get 100 dudes on the same page. I mean,
oh yeah. Well,
go ahead?
Oh, go for it. Oh, I
want to hear
like, we're all best friends on the team, so like we all go over to each other's houses and hang out, and like we're able to have that communication with the smaller team. So it's really nice.
Yeah. Do you like pineapple on pizza?
I love it. I used to work at a
Oh,
pizza place, and I would make just pineapple pizzas.
oh,
I
it's so
know.
gross.
I know
And
some people don't like it.
what's your favorite food?
Uh, okay. So I love cheeseburgers because you can do so much with cheeseburgers.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
like you
true.
can have a Hawaiian one, you can do like a breakfast one,
Western,
spicy,
you can put blue
yeah.
cheese on there, you can
Yeah.
put mushrooms, you can put onion
That's
rings,
what
you can
I'm
put whatever you
saying.
want on there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Love
I
cheeseburgers.
like that idea. I haven't gotten it. I'm on a MetTrim diet right now, so I haven't gotten a cheeseburger in quite some time, but it's okay. It eventually, once I learn how to eat properly again, because I mean, I was an athlete, so I know how to work out. I know how to eat right, but just
Mhm.
over time, having kids and just not
Right.
taking care of myself, it's hard to get back into that rhythm.
Yeah, I feel that. My brother he was a bigger kid in high school, and we're only 18 months apart. So he went to WSU, and as soon as he went to college and found that mom and dad aren't making him food, he lost like 80 pounds.
Oh wow,
Yeah, just like eating chicken and rice.
that's
It's like, oh
that.
God. Yeah.
Right now, I basically get shakes. I mean, I get some food, but not a lot, and
Oh wow.
it's actually going really well. It's not. It hasn't been. My show keeps me accountable. Like I have people
Right.
texting me all the time, like, "Dude, are you doing good?" And then plus they're sponsoring my show, so I have a responsibility to not only them but myself too to get some of this weight off and be here for my kids when they get older. I want to be a grandpa one day.
You definitely got my guy.
So let's switch it up a little bit here. Let's talk about what are you going to school for? Like what's your major?
So at this point, I don't really know. I came in wanting to be a history teacher, found out I hate reading. And
You
then
got to read a lot to be a history
I was like,
teacher.
oh my God, this is not for me. I ended up doing like an internship at Hanford after my first year of college, and then switched it up to business. So I'm a business administration major, but I do have a farm back home. So I was just like kind of taking some ag classes here and there. Like I'm taking ag finance this quarter. So kind of hoping to do something with the farm, maybe own my own business, take over that. I don't know.
What kind of farm is it?
It's it's an orchard farm. So we have
An
like
orchard?
peaches, cherries. Yeah.
Oh,
We had
fun.
apricots, but we kind of are switching from apricots. And then my mom has like a little chocolate business on the side. So
Nice. My first job here in the valley was with my uncle. They have a sheep farm out at the face of Mount Emily on Hunter. And
mhm.
my very first job in this valley was when I was like 13 or 12. And my uncle and I started a business where we trapped starlings for all the cherry farmers around the valley.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
nice, but you're dealing with a lot of nasty birds, man, and I'm not
Yeah.
a huge fan of dealing with birds.
No,
Who's your
I'm
who?
not
Like,
either.
if we were talking about like sports wise or just life wise, who's your hero? Like, who do you look up to?
Oh my. I honestly don't really watch sports on TV. Um, so
Okay,
I guess
life wise or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Uh, this is such a hard question. I guess like Ichiro, I didn't really like growing up, my grandparents watched the Mariners a lot, so I heard about him, and so I was just like, I'll do some research. So he's definitely one that like working hard pays off, and like you can show with him.
Oh, if he would have played his whole career in the United States, he would be the all-time leading
Oh
hitter
yeah,
in history. He'd have the most hits in
yeah,
history. There's no doubt.
yeah,
He was a phenomenon. Like just the amount of media that followed that guy was insane. From the time he stepped into America and the pressure that was on him, and he performed day in and day out. I mean, there was
yeah.
never any qualms with Ichiro. He's up in my list too. I mean, I'm not a Mariners fan, but I am an Ichiro fan. There's no doubt about that.
Right. Yeah.
So after school, you're just kind of up in the air still. It could go a few different ways. What about when you guys get to nationals? When do you guys leave?
I think Sunday, the 25th.
And then you play on what, Tuesday?
Yes, the 27th.
Yeah,
For
I
sure.
think that's right. So once we get there, I mean, obviously it's business time. We're trying for a national championship. I mean, that's the end goal, obviously.
Right.
What is that? I mean, is that a realistic goal? I mean, is that in your head? We're going to be national champions.
I definitely think we can do it. It's ring season, and we need to get after it. I think as long as we do what we're supposed to do, hit after right back, perform and pass and block, we should be fine.
I hope we get Corbin sometime.
Oh, same. I want redemption. I want to be there.
Yeah. I mean, we beat them at home. They beat us at home. And
yeah.
I would love to see a Corbin EOU national championship, even if it's semis or whenever.
I think we all can make it to Final 8. So if we like play them in the Final 8 and then go to the fours from that, I think that would be a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have your phone?
I'm on my
You're
phone.
On it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you can remember, what was the last song that you listened to on your playlist?
Oh, I think it was "Burning Up" by the Jonas Brothers.
Burning Up by the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah,
All right.
Like I said, I have a big variety of music, so I'll do like 2000s pop, 2000s hip hop, grunge music, 70s, classic rock. I mean, there's everything.
Burning Up by the Jonas Brothers. Yeah. I don't know that one. I know a lot of
Sean
music,
Kingston.
but I probably heard it, but I don't know it by name. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for the volleyball team, what's your guys' like go-to song as the team? I've never asked anybody that.
Jet plays the songs in the weights room, and Presley, but I feel like most of the time it's like Travis Scott. So we have to have it like clean. So it's a lot of like non-explicit, like Travis Scott, Meek Mills, just.
It's not, like at rock, least it's not Bob Seger.
That's true.
I mean, there's some guys on the football team that try to hide the Bob Seger CDs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's all they listen. I mean, Camp is a Bob Seger dude.
Oh, I know. He plays some interesting music, but some of it's not bad. Some of it I'm like, all right, I enjoy this. Like he was playing Metallica, and I was like, this is some head bopping stuff, I'd listen to it.
Yeah, you can dig that. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Would you rather, if you were stuck on an island, would you rather be stuck with somebody that never stopped talking or somebody that never talked at all?
Never.
Or by yourself? Talking. Never stopped talking?
Yeah. I feel like you can connect with someone that way, but if you're just like sitting there by yourself, I mean, you have no one. It's like the Castaway movie. That would be kind of hard. Also, like if I would feel like kind of awkward if I had another person just not talking to me. Right. I'd rather be just like all weird and talk about random stuff than not.
I couldn't imagine like being a fly on the wall in your guys' house. The stuff that gets talked about or that goes on in there. Holy mackerel! I mean, just from seeing the. Oh yeah, that would be crazy. I'm sure.
Sometimes I feel bad for Pi because Jet and I we're a weird couple. We do weird things. We just scream at random times. We have our cat Nirvana will like say her name in weird ways, and Pi's on the phone with her fiance, and she's like, "Oh, there they are." Yeah, I know.
That's gotta be interesting.
Sometimes she just like walks to her room, and I'm like, she's probably annoyed with Jet and I right now. But
all right, so I'm going to ask you one more question, and then I'm going to get you out of here because we've gone for quite a while.
It's
but
okay.
Here it is. I appreciate it. Say I was a senior in high school, and I'm a volleyball player, and Khaki sits me in front of you and says, "Bree, recruit Doddsy to come play volleyball at EOU." What are you going to tell me? Yeah, recruit me.
I would definitely say that this is like the most cohesive team, and like we're all here for each other. I've never been on the team that like wanted to hang out with each other more than after practice, and so like we'll text each other and be like, "Hey, let's hang out to Thursday after practice," and then we'll hang out for like 3 more hours. So definitely like the friendships on this team are long lasting, and you have to kind of look up before or like look up what goes after season. Like, would you want to hang out with these girls? And nice. I definitely want to.
Love it. Eastern Oregon, she's first team All-CC outside hitter from EOU Volleyball, the lovely Brianna Schaefer.
Thank you.
I'm Doddsy, and we're out. I appreciate you.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, Bree. You were great. I really enjoy this volleyball team, which is why I've spent so much time covering them and had so many of them on my shows, because A, they're just phenomenal athletes. B, they're great in the classroom. C, their energy level and their spontaneity, if I said that right, is through the roof. So it's an easy choice. Here's sophomore defensive specialist Jessie White. Check it out. Jessie, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So I like to tell the story how like the volleyball thing all started for me was like social media. I was paying attention to we had Jet on the show actually when we had Johnny Ballgame show still. She was our first volleyball guest ever from EOU. And then she ran the social media for your guys' Instagram or whatever. And I was like, dude, I got to get more involved with this team because they got a lot of energy. And then you recently took over the social media for the team. And I was like, oh, well, that's an easy way to pick somebody to come on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start with this. How'd you end up at EOU? Like, what was that like?
I ended up at EOU. I kind of looked at a couple different schools just throughout high school, and I knew I wanted to play. And I looked at higher level, I looked at lower level, I looked at everything. I just wanted to find a place I loved, both athletically and academically. And the first time I even looked into Eastern, I was like, oh, this looks cool. And then I came on a visit. I was probably going into my junior year, so I was like 16, 17, and I fell in love. I practiced with the team one time, and I was like, this is it. I was like, I'm sold. And walked around the campus and just fell in love. And my parents were like, you're still young, like you can, take your time. And so I took my time and thought about it a little bit, but I knew all along this is where I wanted to be. And I'm so thankful that I ended up here. It's the best.
What's your favorite thing about Eastern Oregon besides for school and volleyball? What do you like about Eastern Oregon?
The community. And you can tell, I could tell from the first time I drove around the block here, you can just tell I like small towns though. And so I loved it, but it's just so supportive. And, you go in the grocery store and you see 5 people and I just love that. And everybody's super supportive of athletics and of just the college in general. And I just like the small town feel and all the outdoor stuff. I like mountains and the lakes and just all of it.
I think that's the answer every time I ask that question.
Yeah.
And it's my answer too. We live in one of the most beautiful valleys in the whole country. Yeah, but I would give all that up for the people that live here in a heartbeat. I mean, it's just good people. It's down to earth, and the university helps with that tremendously because it just provides enough diversity and enough culture to a community that would normally not get that in rural Oregon.
Yep, for sure.
So as volleyball wise, you're a libero, a defensive specialist, which on this team you have 2 seniors that also play that same position. So you're getting really good guidance. I mean, we're talking about freshman of the year, 3-time libero of the year, and Kylie, and that's unprecedented. I mean, that's like unheard of. And so you have big shoes to fill.
Yes, both Kylie and Aspen they're awesome. They're the best teammates and great friends, but I remember coming in as a freshman, I would just watch them and you can just learn so much and just how they lead both with their skills and just the way they talk to their team. And it's just, they're the best. And I've definitely learned a lot.
I agree. I've had them both on my show, and Aspen is a total sweetheart. Like she's so humble and so, I mean, like she plays a very important role on your team, and people don't understand that because you don't see her as a starter. So people just think, oh yeah, maybe she's a senior that's not as good, but that ain't the case. I mean, she can step in and fill Kylie's shoes that fast.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a huge advantage, especially at a position that's so specialist type. As for you personally, like what are you going to school for? What do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah, right now my major is early childhood development, and then I added a minor in psychology, but I would love to go into speech therapy in the future, which there's not a major here specifically for that. It's a lot at the graduate level, but that would be my dream. I would just love working with kids, and that would be my goal.
There's somebody else on your team that wants to do that.
Yes. Yep.
I think it's Cambria, isn't it?
It's Kylie, but
it is. It's Kylie. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because the same major as me too. So, yeah.
Kylie talked about it when she was on my show. Like she had like a little bit of a lisp or a stutter when she was a kid, and that's what brought her into wanting to speech therapy. That's interesting. I think out of all the people that I've ever interviewed, you and her are the only ones that have ever said anything like that.
Yeah.
Is it the helping other people? Is that?
Yeah, pretty much. There's a lot of different, I love it because you get your degree and you can work in so many different places. You can work in hospitals and clinics and schools with children, with adults. It's a huge range, but it's mostly, just working on, little kids who just either never talk or say things wrong. And it's a whole wide variety of things.
When we talk about this season, I mean, obviously it's been a long season, right? I mean, unheard of with COVID and everything. Tell me a little bit about how you dealt with COVID mentally. Because one of the things that I like to talk about with the people that I have on my show is, because I care, is the mental health of kids. And when I say kids, I talk like college level down. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we haven't even seen a scraping of what the consequences or what the outcome of COVID is going to be on people's mental health, because that takes time. So how did you handle that this year?
Yeah, it was interesting for sure. Especially just being sent home randomly last March. We were, you say bye to all your friends and your team, and, it changes real quick. My freshman year just pretty much ended pretty abruptly, which I think you can just look at it either, positively or negatively. And it was hard, but I just one day realized that we can either use this time to grow and get better for the next season, or sit around and be home and complain and be sad. And Khaki also influenced us too, just, read books and work on your mental health while you're home. And why we can't be in the gym together, we can work on our minds and becoming more mentally strong. And I think as throughout high school and as a freshman, I wouldn't consider myself the most mentally tough. And over the summer, I just wanted to put time into it. And it's changed not only just my volleyball game and skills, but just my life and my school and how I balance things. And it's just putting in the time and working towards it every day. It's just changed everything and made the world of difference.
That's good. Khaki's my coach crush. I don't have any problem admitting it. I mean, she's a phenomenal coach and just a phenomenal person as well.
Yeah.
So as we move forward, obviously we lost the CCC championship, and like in my eyes, I didn't think that was a bad thing, honestly.
Yeah.
It's the only game I've got to see you guys all year live in person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the only game I've been to. It was a loss. So maybe I was the bad luck charm. You never know. But I honestly think that you don't hear about like championship teams that go undefeated. Very rarely. Yeah. So, I mean, as much as it hurt, I thought that it might have been, okay. What was your takes on that game? I mean, obviously we were down Bree too, which doesn't help. But at the same time, me as a coach, I don't want to go into a national tournament undefeated. That puts a target on your back.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was good for us too. It really puts it into perspective that nothing comes easy. It's not just, you have to work for it, and how you handle adversity and how we handle adversity as a team after a loss is huge. And I think it motivated us. The next week at practice, we were all, hungry and ready to work. And same with this week, we know what work we have to put in if we want to see the wins at, the end of the year, especially.
One of my favorite things about your team is you guys were down 2-0 in that game, and the energy level did not change. Not even a little bit. Yeah. I mean, everybody was still pumped up, giving each other fives. and to stay at that level of mental awareness and that level of energy when you're down like that, that shows a lot about a program to me. I mean, it really does. It was very impressive. Do you live with volleyball players?
Yes, I live with one. I live with Ashton. She's also a sophomore. And then our other roommate doesn't play sport, but
okay, cool. So basically, that's the other thing that I really like about what Khaki does. She keeps, she tries to keep you guys clumped together. Like you see a lot of, and she says it's not on purpose. It just happened out like that. There's a lot of, pairs of two, whether it be the sisters or people coming from the same high school. Who's your two?
I don't know a pair. Actually, we have a couple from Boise. I'm from Nampa, which is just outside of Boise, and there's a handful of girls also from Boise. So I guess we're kind of all together.
Yeah. Do you like pineapple on pizza?
It wouldn't be my first choice. If I had to eat it, maybe, but I would say no.
I don't like warm pineapple. I think it's disgusting. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food? It's probably watermelon.
Watermelon?
Yes.
That's not food. That's water.
No, I know. It's been my favorite food since I was little, so that's why I just keep with it.
Oh, I think I saw you say that on Instagram.
Yeah.
Watermelon? That doesn't even fill you up. You'd have to eat a lot of watermelon.
I know. If my second food after watermelon would probably be like smoothie bowls or smoothies. That's a little more filling.
Okay. That's a little better. That's a little better. So this is going to be your second trip to the national tournament. It's going to be a little bit different this year. Yeah. Nice weather.
Yes, I know. It's weird. Packing is already different. We were kind of thinking of what we have to pack, and it's like, oh, we don't need a bunch of coats this time.
No, I heard it's going to be like 80 degrees.
Yeah. Yes.
Love it. That's the other thing that's crazy about this year. Once again, we're looking at a national tournament in April instead of December.
Yep.
And just the difference in the weather alone, I mean, it's unheard of. What about the length of this season? Like, has it wore on you a little bit physically? I mean, mentally?
Yeah, I know for a lot of girls it has physically, especially people in the front row. They're jumping all day long, which I don't jump as much as them, but I'm really lucky and haven't had any injuries or anything. But definitely it is long. But I think if I wouldn't have grown so much during, quarantine in the summer mentally, I think it would have been a lot harder. I think this year I'm just so grateful to go to practice every day that so many months of practice, it hasn't really worn on me. And as a year ago, it probably would have if I wouldn't have been like mentally where I am now, or, so grateful to even be in the gym.
Describe for the viewers, like and make it kind of quick, but a practice, a EOU volleyball practice. Give me the rundown. You get there, so you get changed. You go out, walk out onto the court. What's the first thing you guys do?
The first thing we do is we talk about goals. So we have a whiteboard in there with our practice plan, and as a group, collectively, we'll write down 2 or 3 main goals we want to accomplish for that practice. And sometimes it's a specific skill. Sometimes it's, have high energy or control what you can control. It kind of varies depending on the week, our games, whatever. And then after our goals, we usually stretch, warm up with a partner, and then go right into volleyball. And we usually we do the same drills every day, that just a lot of team play, a lot of just breaking down things, whether it's blocking or, passing. And and then at the end of every practice, we do a wash drill, which is pretty much like scrimmaging, but there's, different rules, or the points change, or just things like that every day. But a lot of playing and competitiveness.
One of the things that I talked with Khaki about last week and in the past is being grateful. And that's one of the things that I love about you guys is one of my big things is, like, every day before I get out of bed, I talk about with God about the 3 things that I'm grateful for that day. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what it is. It just puts you in that attitude of gratitude. And that I think that's a huge, like, piece of being successful.
Yeah, definitely. And Khaki's implemented that a lot to just our practices, but even just our life. And before, when we do our goals for practice, we say what we're grateful for in our little group or with our partner. And it's hard to be like sad or in a bad mood when you're grateful. And even if it's something little like the sun or whatever, it's just
can be anything.
It changes it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And that's why I do it. It's hard to dwell on the negative things or the things that are not going so well in your life when you've already addressed the things that you're grateful for and you carry that. And my mom's a big fan of this as well. And she preaches that if you do it 19 days in a row, it becomes a habit. And then it, like for me, I don't even think about it. I just wake up. I say, hey, guy upstairs, I'm going to need you today. Here's the 3 things that I'm grateful for. And then I hit the ground running. And usually it puts me in a good space mentally.
Yeah, I love it.
Would you rather win the lottery and be rich right off the bat, like right now, today? Mm-hmm. Or would you rather have to work hard to get rich?
Oh, man.
It's a tough one.
I like the work hard part. It makes it better in the end, knowing that you had to do something to get there. I don't know. I would say work hard for it.
I love the work hard part as well, but I wouldn't pass up.
I know. I was thinking I could go to Hawaii next week if I won that.
Yeah, because people always say they're like, oh, well, money changes you. Money's evil. No, greed is evil. Greed is evil. Money makes things easier. Yeah. Money gives you time. We exchange our time for money, right? Mm-hmm. Well, if I didn't have to give up my time and I had the money, I'd have time to do the fun stuff that I like to do. That's how
Not wrong.
Yeah. So as for next week, when we hit the road, what's the goal? I mean, I know what the goal is, but I want to hear you say it.
Oh, to win. We want to win it all. I think if you don't want to win it all, then what are you doing?
I agree.
Go for it.
Yeah, and I think we put ourselves in a pretty good position. Like we got a really good draw in the first round. I mean, and I was telling Bree earlier, I would love to see you guys play Corbin in like the 8s.
That would be pretty fun.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
Yeah.
So let's a couple more questions, and I'll get you out of here. As for like, do you have your phone? Let's do this one first. Do you have your phone or are you on?
Yes. Yeah, I have.
Get your phone.
Okay.
Pull up your playlist, whatever you use, Spotify. What do you use?
I use Apple Music.
Okay. Well, what's the last song you listened to? First song on your playlist.
Last song I listened to?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I like country, so might make some people mad, but I listen to country. The last song I listened to was Springsteen by Eric Church.
Okay, good song. I like all kinds of. I was actually listening to Morgan Wallen earlier today. I like all kinds of music. I mean, I was born. My era though is like late, mid late 90s. That's when I was in high school, so it was like the hip hop era of time. So, but I am an Eastern Oregon boy, so there's definitely some country in me.
Okay, good.
I like Randy Travis. I like the older guys like Chris Ledoux. Oh, I can listen to some Chris Ledoux. So one more question and I'll get you out of here.
Okay.
I asked this to everybody, and we'll just pretend that I'm a senior in high school. And Khaki says, Jessie, here's Doddsy. I want him to come play volleyball at EOU. Your job is to recruit me. Go ahead. The floor is all yours.
Yeah. Oh, man. Let's see. I would say I'd probably start by just saying that you get better while you're here, especially, I guess I only have experience in the volleyball program, but you get better while you're here. And part of that is because everyone is so supportive. The teammates are so supportive and want you to get better. And we're on the same team, like on the same volleyball team, obviously, but also we're on the same team in life, and everybody wants you to be the best you can. And the coaches also play a huge role in that. And they're just so supportive. And it's about volleyball, and you get better while you're here, but they care about you as a person and want you to be better in life after volleyball and after winning. And it's more than volleyball. It's good stuff here. I would also say school-wise, it's small class sizes, which I personally love. You get to know your professors one-on-one. They know your name. You're not just a number or just another student. and it's just a tight-knit community, a tight-knit college, and I would say overall just super supportive. And it's cool because Khaki especially is your number one fan. The second you do something right or do something you've been working on, she's the first person to tell you, good job. And she's also the first person to tell you, what you need to do better and what you need to grow and that kind of thing. So I would say overall just super supportive and just a great place to be, both in the Grande and in the gym playing volleyball.
Wow, good answer. Very good answer. Eastern Oregon, she's EOU volleyball sophomore defensive specialist, the lovely Jessie White. I'm Doddsy, and we're out. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jessie. Another energy bringer. I mean, that's how I love it. None of this is possible without Northwest Furniture and Mattress right here in La Grande. Right off Adams on Elm, big red rocking chair. You can't miss it. Go check out the showroom. Go see the Daggett family. They're big supporters in this community. They support me. I put out the shows. You guys watch the shows. You support them. That's how it works. And MetTrimMD right here in La Grande. Dr. Kopp, I mean, this journey that I'm on, I'm loving life right now. I feel good. I have lots of energy. So give MetTrimMD a try. If you need to lose a little bit of weight or if you need to lose a lot of weight, if you have high blood pressure, if you have high blood sugar, if you have one of those things that are a constant nag when it comes to health because of a little bit of extra weight on your body, go see Dr. Kopp and MetTrimMD and get it worked out. They'll help you. The consultation's free. I've showed you what the food looks like. I mean, it's manageable. And I'm not suffering right now. MetTrimMD in La Grande. I also went to the EOU lacrosse game this weekend, which it was my first lacrosse game ever. And it was a blast. No, EOU didn't win. It's their inaugural season, and they've had some, ups and downs. But at the same time, man, was it fun. It really was. Lacrosse is fun to watch. There's a lot of action. The ball's constantly moving. Next year, let's get back out there and support these ladies. Hopefully, with COVID and everything's opened up and we can actually have some people in the stands. Also, the other way that you can help me, besides watching my show and seeing sponsors and visiting the different sponsors, is to like, share, and follow. I post on Instagram what's going on all the time, and that's at Doddsy Podsy. I'll put it right down below. And then just like, share, follow our EOAlive on Instagram at EOAlive TV, EOAlive on Twitter at EOAlive TV. Like, share, and follow. I can't urge that enough, and it's appreciated. The watching is appreciated enough. But if you want to take it to the next level, either support the sponsors or like, share, and follow. We also have an app available in the Play Store and in the iTunes Store. So we have an app for your Android. We have an app for your iPhone, and then we also have an app for your iPad because they take different apps. So go to the Play Store or go to iTunes and just search EOAlive TV, and it'll be the first one that pops up. Download it. You can watch our stuff live. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on Facebook. You get to choose on the app. It'll also give you notifications and all that stuff. Eastern Oregon, I appreciate you. What a beautiful day it is out there today. Monday. Let's get through this Monday, shrug it off. I'm Doddsy, and I'm out.